Here we go. Okay, fantastic. Here we are, approaching hour 8 of the stream, and we decided to knock out another one of these game reviews. This is a game submitted for review by Mage. The note here says, public game where neither of us knew who each other were. Even though it's sort of a joke game, there are many ideas about center control and tempo loss. Slight smile. Apparently, Mage is white and Sirtis is black, so they ran into each other in a pub game, which is really interesting. So let's see what happens. Didn't get a quick enough response, so ordered myself a large with onions, olives, and peppers. All right, here we are. Okay, standard turn 0. Okay, what's going on here? Turn 1, we're familiar with turn 0. F3, off to a bombastic start. Who the hell plays F3? Especially in a pub game. I guess if you're trying to style. No one in their right mind. This is a terrible opening in 2D chess. Especially so in 5D chess, because immediately, you open up the triagonal, a queen after e6, which is a move that you're going to want to play as soon as turn 1 anyway as black. You just immediately line up for the win here, so it's not fantastic. The G knight can't go to f3 to defend h4. You could play h4 yourself. Lawnmower says, "Oh wait, is this the funny game?" I don't know. This isn't yours. This is between Mage and Sirtis. Yours is next on the list. Okay, how do you respond? No amount of theory. I like the way this player thinks. Yeah, if it's a pub game, no stakes, you're just going hamburgers, I do it too. Okay. Knight f6. Interesting that he didn't just go for the immediate, because this also blocks the immediate triagonal mate, but I guess it's a pub game. You don't want to just stomp the opponent immediately. You want to keep it interesting. You also want to defend against f4. Maybe he pre-moved. Kind of weird to put the knight on the pawn square. Yeah, it is. Knight f3, you got to respond in kind, right? So I don't know what this guy's thinking. Not too much. Knight f6, in the words of Ryan, when is knight f6 ever a bad move? The answer is never. Forehead. Okay. c3 played. f3, c3. It's like the baby crab. You feel me? The crab is a4, h4. This is the baby crab. f3, c3. What a meme game already. Okay, you're threatening the sack along the diagonal, so you're going to want to prevent that. Another good move. Hey, Los. This is a gentleman's move. Oh, nice, this game. Apparently everyone and their mother has seen this game already. But I haven't. It gets better. All right. How do you respond? Is this what I'm tempted to just spectate rather than speculate. What's a good way? The thing is, the travel to f2 has not been prevented along the triagonal, so probably the best response is to challenge the opponent and just say, what are you going to do? Although taking the queens off the board, I don't know, man. This is crazy. Actually, maybe knight d5 is good here, right? Knight d5 seems good here. I might knight d5. But I don't know. Okay, what does black do? Black goes c6. Okay. Black goes c6. He sure does. I see where this is going. Chat's further ahead than I am. Now I guess you threaten the travel? There's the counter travel, which you lose to. But then you can do, I mean, who's going into pub matches doing the exile? That's pretty fucked up. But he hasn't prevented the travel. What? Just tell me, what does white do? Queen a4, of course. Right. Queen a4 doesn't even defend against the travel if queen b6, right? No? Are you not familiar with the f3 c3 theory? Unfortunately, no. I'm familiar with e3 f4 theory. f3 c3 c3 not so much. What the It's a special version of the Boncloud Summit. I thought Romad left. That Magnus plays? Oh, I have seen something along those lines. No, I don't think this was it though, right? No, I know what you're saying. It's like the queen goes all the way around and like swaps places with the king or whatever, right? That's the idea. Something like that. All right. Cool. Okay. Queen b6 is probably the move. Because what else? Yeah, it ends with that. All right. Queen b6 happens. We're along for the ride. Now what happens? Here, yes? No? This also might like win the game soon. Going to sleep now. Finally, goodbye, have fun. All right, have a good night. Okay, that I never know to what extent the people who are redeeming this channel point reward are in for like reaction content versus genuine analysis. I don't know how much analysis I can provide. Okay, I guess you probably... this seems bad for white. Can't black just f2 sack? Yeah. I guess white's got a defense for that. Because they can move the queen, like on the crucial turn, they can move before queen b6 happens on the other board. It doesn't prevent against the exile, but I guess what this is, the nice thing about this queen is that it defends f4, which you might think, wow, how is that useful? Well, like if a queen comes in here and the king captures like forced only move, then like a travel becomes made if the queen isn't defending f4. But you probably want to do something like this to defend. The thing is, okay, you don't want to give, as white here, if we're being a little serious, not too serious, but just a little like rudimentary analysis, you don't want to give black a board where they've got a queen staring down f2, right? That just seems like a bad idea. So I guess e2 also opens the eyes of your bishop, also gives your knight anywhere to go. Seems okay. d4 seems ballsy but playable. Playable in the way that Los uses the word playable. That's all you're gonna get from me. What actually happens? e3 does happen. All right. We get a lull from Los. Nice. It's playable, but it's tricky. But it's also playable. Okay. What do you do here as black? What do you do here as black? This triagonal's been open for like the dawn of time. I don't know how good it is. Probably not very. You probably play e6. So you can develop your bishop. Maybe you've got ideas of collapsing onto e3. There's nothing else that's super safe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a move like this seems super clunky. It activates this bishop, but I don't know. Maybe it enables you. Okay, there's an argument for d5, right? Cuts off this diagonal. There's no crazy. But then you get the bishop here, and then there's tricky. I don't know. I don't know. E6 seems reasonable. What actually... But I guess, okay, hold on. If you play e6, then you lock your light square bishop into the game. Maybe d5 is good. d5, get your light squared bishop in. e6. Potentially interesting. d5. Bishop f4. Takes take, and you can do some wacky stuff. I don't know. I'm exhausted. Lo says black has to counter this with e6, king e7, of course. Kappa. What happens? What happens? In the game, the move that's played is e6. Okay, e6 seems reasonable. What now? What do you do as black? Sorry, as white. You develop your pieces. This knight move doesn't seem insane. This bishop move doesn't seem insane. This bishop move doesn't seem insane. d4 doesn't seem crazy, but cuts the queen off. What the hell is going on? The move we see in game is, of course, Queen h4. This makes a lot of sense because this enables you to do the advanced pawn cloud. Sure. How do you respond? How do you respond? Maybe with like this idea, you just wreck the shit out of your opponent next turn? What the hell is this game? Honestly, I would resign here. As which color? What am... I would probably... Okay, realistically... Well, you do undefend this pawn, but who the fuck cares? I'd probably develop the bishop. To where, I don't know, one of these two squares. One of these two squares. Okay. What happens? I've gone cross-eyed. Queen c5 happens. Of course Queen c5 happens. You know what Queen c5 does? Neither do I. Yeah, black has a very poor light square bishop. Resignable position-wise. I'd agree in principle if white didn't also have... I'm stunned. A weak queenside bishop. What? Sure. What are you planning? What's your... Okay, maybe there's like a cheeky travel onto here? No, that's bonkers. Okay, sure. What, you know what? Queen c5 is the honest move here. I don't think that it requires any explanation. The black has to resign because white is using intimidation, all caps, all space. The black squared bishop doesn't matter. The light squared are the real ones. That sounds like some really ignorant, racist shit coming out of Ryan 4 CEO. But okay. Alright, okay. We've got a lot of moves. I feel genuinely delirious. Like, I'm spinning a little bit. I don't know what to say. Okay, next move. What do you do as white? Develop the knight to either of these squares. This bishop seems fine. I honestly like developing the knight here. Kicking the queen seems decent, right? Kicking the queen like this seems decent. Also defense against the attack onto that pawn. What actually happens? Let's consult the move list. Okay. Turn 6. King D1. How the fuck do you respond? Okay, here let's get real. You've got some lethal ideas here as black. In 1-2 turns, you can Tchaikovsky. As you can see, both kings are on light squares. You can now Tchaikovsky the opponent. The idea is that this here, in not now. Now queen f5? No, queen f5 now gets you here. 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 It is this turn. I saw the Tchaikovsky. But I thought it was next turn, not this turn. You can already Tchaikovsky. That is godlike. Alright, as I know that it's a bomb cloud, but the fact that it's a Tchaikovsky makes it, in my eyes, sportsmanlike. You can Tchaikovsky the shit out of this king right now. And your opponent can't even, like, sack a queen to prevent it from happening. It's defended? There's a queen there on that turn. Okay, never mind. This entire time, what I meant is that you have to wait. You have to wait a turn. Yeah, no, I totally saw that. Completely calculated. Andre, maybe someday you'll get on my level. Okay. All right. So this happens, and what do you think to you? I might resign now, but I do want to see what this beautiful brain has yet to offer. Well, okay, what do you do? What do you do? What I might do is bishop here. Why? Because next turn you can do some shenanigans, and then this happens, and then your queen here gives you a travel. This is all going in the openings guide. Dude, I feel genuinely lightheaded. I'm not joking. If we're going to get through this game without me dying, we're going to have to keep playing. Just move. Next move. Queen a5. Queen a5. Queen a5 does not threaten a Tchaikovsky. Actually, it does. Next turn. But then this move happens, and then it's not good, right? But queen a5 happens. Queen a5 happens. Okay, this queen has now done the triangle. How does white respond? I think this is an obvious play. I will leave it at that. That's an obvious play to me. Okay, I guess what this does is buy time for the Tchaikovsky to happen, right? So that's all good. That's all good. What do you do here? B3 B3 happens. B3 happens. We don't immediately lose the game. Queen f5 happens. Okay, Sirtis is aware. Sirtis, a good understanding. He knows the Tchaikovsky. How do you prevent this as white? Oops, I spoiled the guy. It's a selling point of the guide, Los. I mean, the guide is free, but you know. Now you've got our attention. What do you do here as white? I don't know. You probably want to prevent, because then there, like, a travel to here is like terrible. So push this pawn. Rook takes. takes. Seems bad. Dude, I don't know. Push this pawn. All your pawns are defended amazingly. What do you do next? Queen of Queen E1. Of course, Queen E1 is the obvious move here. I don't know what, like, Stonkfish. Queen E1 is like a 4,000 centipawn advantage over the next move. Queen E1. Queen E1. Then what? Then the Tchaikovsky wins the game. By the way, this is lethal. This is lethal. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't even... This is lethal. I really wonder how white doesn't just instantly lose. This wins the game. Just so black knows, this like immediately wins the game. It really does. It immediately wins the game. What does black do instead? Am I reading this right? Black plays Queen D5. What is happening? Okay, where does this go? Okay, it goes here. So maybe the idea is here, then check, then, you know, check, then something, then mate, like super convoluted, but maybe you might want to do that. What the fuck? Is this a serious game? Well, serious, defined loosely, I think both players are probably trying to win. Why would you take your queen off of... I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay, Queen D5. Queen D5 is played. Of course it is. What do you play then? D3. You don't want to give him a travel onto the defended D2 before... I was okay with F3, C3, but now I'm getting suspicious, says Ryan. This is in a game between two, I believe, maybe top 10 players. I'm not sure, but they're up there. D3 is played. D3 is played. D3 is on the board. What do you do now? Knight A6. Knight A6 was played. I think Knight A6 is an obvious move if you really think about it. You need the bishop to defend against like Tchaikovsky's on G7, and you know this guy's locked in. You don't want to lose any tempi, and pushing some of these pawns really weakens your position. And I mean, at the end of the day, like let's think about it, right? Let's think about it. I mean, come on. A knight here attacks this pawn, which is only defended once, right? Ola, just realized you were reviewing. Mage, what the fuck? I'm at a loss. Mage are gonna play this opening against me tomorrow. One can only hope. Knight A6, the obvious play. What do you play here? What do you play here? E4. E4 is a good move. E4 is a good move. Why is E4 a good move? Well, it kicks the queen. The queen there makes you a little nervous. But by the way, Mage, I don't know if you realize, but Sirtis on this turn has a Tchaikovsky. He wins the game immediately. You lost on this turn. Like 100%. So that's cool. I don't know if you were aware that there was a Tchaikovsky, but there was. Oh, he did, lol. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. I wasn't aware. Yep, okay. That's, we the analysis portion of the, I feel like I have now delivered analysis. I know that I've been mostly staring, I gotta edit that then. Yeah, I've been staring like wide-mouthed at this move list. Keep it, by the way. Okay, turn 10. No minor pieces have moved. Only the queen and the king. Only royalty. Okay, kick the queen. Why not? Kick the queen. I mean, obviously it's not legal in this variant to move any non-royal pieces. So, you know, you grab space. Everything's defended. Look at this. Look, this pawn's defended once. So that's cool. You know, sure. Seems good. Seems good. Seems good. Okay. By the way, here you sack the knight every time. Right? Because if takes, who the fuck cares? You just sack it. You just do. You sack the knight here every time. This pawn is pinned. Only captures here, and if he captures there, that's like insane. Actually, pretty cool knight sack. Yeah, no, I think it's good. Like I would rattle off this knight sack without hesitation. Actual knight sack is what I would play. Unironically. This is a good puzzle. It's something. Might post it in puzzles. Yeah, okay. Alright. The thing is, you can't close the door, right? That's the only problem. And you can't deliver another check. So it's not made on the spot. You can close the door? Explain. Okay, no, look, because you take here, pawn takes, queen here, bishop out. How do you close the door? You can't get anywhere. No pieces get here. Knight takes e4 doesn't work because queen takes e4. White wins material. You're probably right. I think genuinely Ryan and I both missed the fact that was a legal move. Dude, I'm losing my shit. Okay. We have to get through this game. What was this? Turn 10. Turn 10. E4. Always play E4 in 5D chess. Always. Queen D5, B5. Queen D5, B5. Queen D5, B5. Come on. Like I said, this is singly defended by this pawn, man. This is how you win. Also, knight C5 closes the door. What the hell are you talking about? Here. Check. Boom. Knight C5? Oh. You're right. Oh, it doesn't close the door. But I get what you're saying, because you have to take here and then this wins. So that's fair enough. Because if you do it with the bishop... No, but if you do it with the queen... No, that doesn't work, right? Because pawn takes, queen out. If you do it with the queen, then knight c5 happens. You take the queen with the queen, attacking f7, by the way. And then he can't get mate because you have the bishop to capture, right? Oh, so the puzzle doesn't work in 3 ways? Oh, we need to move on. Queen b5 happens. So close. Yeah. So close, except for the 3 ways that it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Queen b5 is the obvious play. The real question is what the response is. Now, c4 is played in game. See, the astute viewer would have seen c4 from a mile away. What you probably do is maintain pressure on this pawn, right? Because you're gonna get the knight here, and then there's gonna be shenanigans soon, maybe. I'm not joking. I've got a headache right now. Ah, God. Okay, we're gonna breeze through this. But no, actually, Queen E5 is played. If not really sure what I was talking about earlier. I mean, of course, you want your queen central, without line of sight to any piece. I mean, the thing is here that you attack along the diagonal, which is good. Then you enable knight c3, right? And then what do you do? This is quality game placement. What do you mean? If queen b6, how about bishop e3? What about bishop e3? You want to play this knight move anyway. What are you talking about? Oh, never mind. Okay, queen e5 is played. What do you do now? Okay, oh, there's big questions here. Knight move, right? Develop one of your minor pieces? No! You're not allowed to move. You're not allowed to move any non-royal pieces. So, in the game, Queen c3 is played. Now, do you turn down a challenge? Okay, the thing about this game mode is that as soon as you force the opponent to move a piece that's not a royal piece, they lose. They lose. So the capture here, I think, is the obvious play. Let's get real. It's the obvious play. Now, spiritually, White has officially lost the game. Anything after this is really, it's just bookkeeping. Knight c3 has immediately lost White the game. What do you do now? Knight to b4. Knight b4. Sure, active knight. How do you kick it? Well, with this pawn maybe. Then what happens? This is in danger. No, actually, you take it. You don't want to make that trade anyway. But then you open up the triagonal, but then... Why is this even good? Knight b4, the second best move in 5D chess right after knight f6. Knight b4. Knight b4 is played. The obvious a3 is played immediately, because of course it is. Now what do? You bring your knight back to a6, baited. That's all I wanted this entire time. Don't you understand? This is the flaw in the structure, because now there's a weakness here. Yes, there's a weakness. B3 undefended. This will be White's demise. Just you wait and see. Just you wait and see. The knight goes back to a6. What do you do now? You shore up your defenses. You shore up your defenses. You play b4. Man, if only black had a queen here. Something like that. Something like that. Okay, b4 is actually forced here. Because if you're not playing b4, what are you playing? What, d4? Come on. D4, D4 is heresy. B4 here. Always B4. Restrict the space of the bishop. You don't need to develop any of your other pieces. That's pretty bad form. Pretty bad form. And it makes it difficult to access this. So now there's no, like, bishop push travel onto the thing. That wouldn't have even, like, mattered. Because you could just move the king away. But sure. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. Okay. B4. How do you respond to B4? Knight C7. Yeah, the problem here is that the problem here is that black has too many options. Like for moves. And what you really want to do is prevent black from moving anywhere. Because after b4, black, this knight move can't move anywhere. Right? Or, sorry, what is this? b5 is what I meant. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Knight c7. Knight c7 is obvious. Now, bishop f4 is played. Wow. Okay. An actual move. Wait, this is good. Okay, it cuts off the knight. What's it gonna do? Lose another tempo here. You get into trouble. Okay, maybe pin this knight, right? F7 shenanigans. Okay, cool. Knight a6. Okay, let's retrace the black knight's moves. No, this is good. This is good. All right, check me out. Check me out. Okay. Knight b4. Then knight a6. Then knight c7. Then knight a6. Back to a6. Back to a6. Good. Threefold repetition. That's what black is hoping for. That's what black is hoping for. Okay. Okay. b4 shut down knight c5 and really restricted the knight's movement to where it had nowhere to go. I can imagine the thumbnail. I can't. I don't. Why would anyone even watch this? There's nothing. Okay. Knight a6. Knight a6. Knight a6. Okay. Wow. Wow. Developing the knight. This is a bit. This is unexpected. This is dubious. I don't know about developing your pieces. The problem with developing your pieces is that then you don't have any more pieces to develop, like in the late game, and that really restricts your movement options. So this is pretty weird, champ. I don't know. I would have pushed one of these pawns, maybe kick this knight, you know, because takes, and then it's like, oh no, can't go back here, and then, you know. So yeah, okay. This is weird, champ. This is weird, champ. Knight e2 is pretty dubious. Okay. The obvious play after knight e2. I was just about to say this. I was just about to say h5 is the best move to shut down knight e2, and this is why I wouldn't play knight e2 in the first place. You got to develop the rook, right? You got to think about that, and how's the rook ever going to develop if this pawn is in the way, right? So that's good. Okay. What next? I anticipate knight g2. I think knight g2 exclam here is actually really something to be considered. Knight e2, says Ryan, feels like it really goes against the style this opening should be played with. H5, however, very thematic. And, I'm not sure that I agree. I think that what's thematic in this position for black to play is knight b8. I don't think anyone will argue. I rest my case. QED. King d2 must be the way to play this position with the idea of king e3, then king d4. I don't know. I don't know about that. Because if you play king e2, it restricts your options for pawn movement. You want to push the pawns. That's a strict tempo loss. King e2 instead of h3, h4. I'm not sure. The issue with knight b8 is there's no way for your opponent to force it back to a6. So what is it really doing there? You know, when you're right, you're right. I'm not above admitting when I'm wrong. And sometimes you know, chat keeps you honest. Chat teaches you humility. And here, when you're right, you're right. Gotta call a spade a spade. Ryan's absolutely correct. H5. H5, knight g3. Okay, knight, genuinely, I don't know why this is happening. That seems kind of rude. I guess it really wants to get kicked. The thing is, this pawn is really sad and does nothing if there isn't a piece that it's kicking. And, you know, where else can this knight go after it's kicked? You know, like... Cool. Cool. Knight g3. H4. Because no shit. Knight f5. All right, so you're really saying that if he's going to take here, then you're going to win? Kind of unchill, but okay. Whatever. Okay, for those of you who don't realize, here the pawn can't capture because then this bishop mates. So really what you'd probably do is something like this bishop move. Potential for Tchaikovsky's in like a quote-unquote real game, but whatever. Knight f5, then what? G6. You gotta kick the knight. 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 That's it. D6. D6 obvious. D6 obvious. You deliver the check. You deliver the check. If there's a check, then you deliver it. If there's a check, then you deliver it. What do you do now? You take. You take with the bishop, and if you take back for symmetry reasons. Bishop f4 d6 was played on turn 21. Now, okay, now you're done with all that business, right? You're like, oh, thank God, we can get back to the real game. You play g5. You play g5. This move plays itself. Now, what do you do as white here? In actuality, you probably push this pawn. It's going to kick the knight, can't go here, it's got to go here, right? So then you take. If takes happens, then you can put your knight here, and then if takes, and you kick this, and then you set up mate. So I actually genuinely think no cap, b5 is good. But there is cap, because c1 is played. C1 is played, and then what do you do? When C1 is played, you play rook G8. It's the only responsible move. It's the only good response. Now, yeah, this is known as the Neptunian system. Rook G8 always responded to by knight D1. Knight D1 is good. I think knight D1 is sensible here. And here we go with the B8. Okay, IMHO. A few turns late, but black came to his senses. Okay, cool. Cool. We got the knight B8 we were looking for. All is well. Now E3. E3 was played. Okay, knight E3. Knight E3 is played. The idea is that you're putting another knight here because you're going to mate here. Okay, very circuitous, very unnecessary, very inefficient. But sure, okay. Black's probably oblivious to this because black plays b6. Okay, then so this is how they choose to do it. So they're going to travel. All right, okay. So the idea is here you force the capture and then you go back one turn into the pass. That's pretty fucked up, IMHO. Okay, so then you go back here to e5, right? Oh no, okay, this is check. So what do you do now? You take your knight on f6, and you bring it all the way back to g6. G6 doesn't really do anything, but sure. You still lose, doesn't really matter. Really doesn't matter. Okay, only way here is to bomb cloud, to assert dominance. Actually, that's what happens. King c2 is played, and then the g6 knight here goes to g6 back here on turn 23. Yep, g6. Okay, what do you do here? You play King c2. The only way to play this now is to bomb cloud yourself, which you can't really do, unfortunately, not a legal move. In lieu of that, King d8 was played, and then King c3 was played for the win. How to describe this game? Instructive, Dynamic. Positional. Legendary. That's all we got. What a way to end the stream. Thank you for submitting, Mage. Big thanks to Sirtis, wherever he is, for participating. And with that, we cross another one off the list. Let's find someone to raid.